There's a question that I get every single fall, and it comes from sellers who are genuinely unsure, a little nervous, and quietly wondering if they've already missed their moment. The question is this: is winter a bad time to sell my Big Bear home? My answer is always the same. It depends, but probably not in the way that you think. Here's what I want to do today. Walk you through what actually happens in the Big Bear real estate market during the off season, why winter isn't the death sentence for sellers that a lot of people assume it is, and when it does and doesn't make sense to list during the slower months. This isn't a one-size-fits-all answer, but it's also not as complicated as you might fear. Let's start with what off-season actually means in Big Bear. Big Bear Lake is a 4-season resort town, one of the things that make it genuinely unique as a real estate market. Most mountain communities have one peak season. Big Bear has 2. Summer runs roughly June through September when the lake is the draw. Ski season runs December through March, when Snow Summit and Bear Mountain are the draw. That leaves 2 shoulder windows, April through May, in October through November. Those are the slower months. That's what we call the off season. Here's where sellers get confused. They assume that because fewer tourists are around in November, fewer buyers are looking. That's partly true, but only partly. The buyers who disappear in the off season are the casual lookers, the people who popped up into an open house because they were already up here for the weekend. These people do drop off. But serious buyers, the ones who have been watching the market for months, who are pre-approved and ready to move, they don't take an off season. They care about finding the right property, not what month it is. And serious buyers in the market like Big Bear are highly motivated. Someone driving up the mountain in January to look at a cabin isn't doing it casually. They want that property. That kind of buyer is my favorite buyer to work with when I'm representing a seller, because low motivation is never a problem. So the first question isn't, are there buyers? There always are. The first question is, what kind of deal am I likely to get, and does the timing work for my life? Let's talk pricing, because that's where a lot of sellers have an understandable anxiety. In peak season, you tend to see more multiple offer situations. More buyer competition drives prices up, and the sellers can push a little harder on the terms. In the off season, there are fewer active buyers, which typically means fewer competing offers and a less frenzied negotiation. But here's what most sellers don't consider. The number of homes listed in the off season also drops significantly. While there may be fewer buyers, there are fewer competing listings as well. In summer, a buyer might be choosing between 8 cabins in Moonridge. In January, they might be choosing between 2. That reduced competition on the seller side can absolutely offset the reduced demand on the buy side. In concrete terms, I've seen well-priced Big Bear homes sell in January and February at prices very close to their summer comps. Not always, but it happens regularly. The key word is well-priced. Overpriced homes languish in any season. In the off-season, they are invisible. Say you have a 3-bedroom cabin in Sugarloaf priced around $550,000. Solid condition, good photos, clean and staged. In peak summer, you might get 2 or 3 showings a week, a couple of offers in 30 days. In January, you might get 1 showing a week, 1 solid offer in 45 days, the final sales price often within a few percent of each other. What changes is that pace, not necessarily the destination. Now let's talk about when the off-season actually works in your favor. First, you avoid the spring preparation scramble. Every spring, sellers who want to list in the peak window all try and get the same contractors, painters, and stagers all at the same time. Prices go up, scheduling gets messy, and a lot of sellers end up rushing. If you're working towards a winter or early spring listing, you have time to do it right. Get your deck restained in October when contractors have open schedules. Second, motivated sellers attract motivated buyers. Buyers shopping in December and January have often been told by friends and family they're crazy for looking during the ski season. They've already pushed past that friction, they're serious, and when they find a well-priced listing, they move decisively. I've had transactions go from first showing to accepted offer in under a week in January. Third, ski season is actually a selling season. Big Bear's ski traffic brings prospective buyers who are falling in love with the mountain all over again. Families who have rented the same cabin for 3 years start thinking, what if we just owned one? Second home buyers who have been on the fence get up here in February. If your home is listed during this ski season, you're visible to exactly that audience. One category where winter timing plays especially well, vacation rental cabins. If your home has been operating as a short-term rental on Airbnb or VRBO, actively permitted, winter is one of your strongest proof of concept windows. A buyer touring your cabin in February while it has active bookings on the calendar is seeing your investment thesis proven live. That is powerful. Let me be straight about when waiting makes more sense. If your home needs significant cosmetic work and you can't get it done before December, you may be better off preparing properly and listing in April. A property that looks drab in winter photos but would photograph beautifully in May should wait for May. The listing photos are permanent. They live online long after the snow melts. If your home depends heavily on outdoor appeal, a spectacular deck, a view that only reads well in green season photos, wait and capture it at its best. In a market where buyers are often shopping from Southern California before they ever visit in person, those photos matter enormously. There's also the personal logistics question. If your calendar is packed and you genuinely can't manage the process, that's a real consideration. The right timing is the timing when you can actually execute well. On pricing strategy for off-season listings, in summer, you can sometimes afford to start a touch high and let the market work towards your number. In the off season, you cannot. With fewer showings each week, you want to come out priced right from day one. A mispriced off-season listing can sit for 6 to 8 weeks, and then you're entering spring carrying days on market, which buyers notice. Price at market, not above it. Look at the last 90 days of comparable sales. If the comps say your fawn skin property is listed at $619, not $649, hoping that someone will fall in love and pay the premium. Off-season buyers are often more analytical than emotional. They've been watching the market for months. They know the comps. A quick note on days on market, 30 to 60 days on a well-priced Big Bear home in the off-season is completely normal. It does not mean something is wrong with your listing. The buyer pool is smaller and it takes longer for the right buyer to find you. If you're at 90 plus days with 0 offers, that's worth a conversation, but the first 30 days should not cause alarm. If you have a hard deadline, say you need to close by December 31st, and it's already October, you need to be aggressive on price from day one. Not desperate, not tight, not time to test the market. Price it to move and work with an agent who has strong buyer-agent relationships and can proactively market before it even hits the MLS. For sellers with no hard deadline, my honest advice is this: don't let the calendar make your decision. If your home is ready and your price is right and your situation supports going on the market now, go now. Waiting for a theoretically better season is sometimes smart, and sometimes it's just procrastination with a strategic label on it. One more thing, Big Bear second home buyers are often less rate sensitive than primary home buyers. A larger percentage are all cash or making substantial down payments. Someone buying a cabin in Boulder Bay as a vacation property is not making that decision on a 30-year mortgage calculator. They are making it based on lifestyle, value, and long-term appreciation. Rate-driven slowdowns hit Big Bear differently than they hit primary home markets. And here's the bottom line. Winter is not a bad time to sell in Big Bear if you price correctly, prepare properly, and work with someone who knows this market inside and out. It's a different experience than a summer sale. not a worse one. And for some sellers in some situations, it's actually the smarter move. If you're sitting with a Big Bear property right now and trying to figure out whether the off-season works for your specific situation, I'd love to talk you through it. Every home, every seller, and every timeline is a little bit different. You can call or text me at 909-744-2190 or visit buyinbigbearlake.com. I'm Rachel Smith with RE/MAX in Big Bear. Let's find the right timing together. Talk to you soon. Bye.